end. Your understanding or ailment with the words being delivered will be deciphered by your comprehension of the message.
Give me a round of applause. That's the boy coming in. Hey, what's up, world? Welcome to another episode on the Kingdom of Kings and Queen podcast. I am the poet who didn't know it.
I am Young King.
And I miss me.
Today we'll be discussing black culture and does it exist. I'm kind of on the fence about black culture, so to speak, because our culture was stripped from us in essence, from what I know. Like our language, our religion, our spirituality, or whatever you would call it, our native tongue. Like even like we say this is English, but it's broken English because English people speak English.
Right.
But we say they talk funny, but we really talk, we the one talking funny.
Right, and that dialect varies.
I like to say that us here now, our so-called culture comes from our oppressors. And I say oppressors because it's still happening now, whether you want to believe it or not. Just like his t-shirt say, slavery didn't end. They just got done rebranded it. It's still like helping alive and well, and they keep these different vices to keep us separated. But the talk about culture, I think we created our own because that's what we do.
Out of necessity.
Right, that's what we do. Like they started talking about Ebonics, but that's just really us trying to get back to our native tongue. But even black people be saying, "Look how they talking," Right. But that ain't them with your natural ability. Now I ain't no scientist, but if you use your mind,
you speak according to your dialect is gonna match where you're from. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You gonna have like that. You know what I mean? I go up north and that boy country here, right?
Right.
So and their word, their brother. That's Baltimore, right? Your brother. My brother, my mother. Who? When they put a V in there, I don't know no V in it. But and your dialect is gonna vary. But as far as yes, they tried to strip. I feel that they tried to strip our culture, but there are still someone who knows of our being. It's on us to do the research to find that lost knowledge.
The real books though, they got them things tucked away real good though.
Right, so you can only know as much as you can know, and then you really don't know how much you know. You know what I'm saying? So it's
like we all know that the Bible been tempered.
Look for Miss Me.
Well, I'm just. My question is, before we can say, do we have black culture or does it still exist, or you first have to define what black culture is. So, what do you think in your mind? What is black culture?
That's why I say I'm on the fence because we created our own, but just like Jewish people or Asian people, they all know that they all have their own language. They all know that they like Chinese people. They have Christmas and all they stuff on be on different day. Like they know how they calendar different. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Their entities look like them. Mm-hmm. We worship a white Jesus, but you'll say, "No, my Jesus black." Now you were brought up on it. That the same Christianity you practicing is what you were taught. So you can't your mind it don't work like that. Cause if you close your eyes and think of a cheeseburger, you gonna picture cheese. So when you think of God, you're gonna think of what you've been seeing your whole life, and that's what you've been seeing. And when you look in the book, it tell you that it was a person of color.
Right.
Just these people tell you the Middle East and all that. That's Africa.
Right.
And not even Africa is Ethiopia, but that's a whole nother thing.
You're absolutely correct. As far as once you close your eyes, you're gonna envision what you've been trained to believe. But once you go on that quest for knowledge and you gain that knowledge of self, that's when you close your eyes and you think of a God and you see your vision of yourself. You know what I mean? You realize that God lives through you.
But I'm saying, just to bring it back around though, fam, I agree with that 100%. But when we're talking about culture, we Christmasing, we Black Friday, we doing all this stuff. Is that our culture?
No. That's the American culture. That is the American culture, and we being here, citizens of this country, we are African American. You know, you have to put that hyphen on. You know what I mean? But that is our culture. That's what we've known. When they stripped us from Africa and brought us over here, that's all we've known from then on. You know what I mean?
So, like I said, when we have all these different nationalities, they have their culture, they have their native tongue.
Yeah, exactly. But what I'm saying is, we can still go back we can go back, close that ocean, and go to Africa if you really want to know. You know what I'm saying?
But I still think you wouldn't know. Because even over in Africa,
there's an elder in every village in Africa who that's his only job in life is to remember the history and events of everything that transpires within this village.
I get that, but even over in Africa, you still have people. Skin whitening cream is like a #1 seller in Africa. So,
but that's real though.
Yeah. And the guys over there, they want their woman to look close to white as possible, straight hair, white skin. So to me, I think it would be hard for us to go back to the original culture because everything is
not original.
Right.
I'm just saying our native tongue, to where like you can see two people from whatever part of Ethiopia that they may be from, and they could talk in their native tongue and then turn around and talk to you in English. Yeah, you'll still hear the Ethiopian accent in there, but you know they're able to hold a conversation and move throughout life easily. Like I'm just saying, when it comes to us as black people, whether we were the indigenous people here or those that our ancestors were brought here, everything that we've gathered and where we at right now we've been indoctrinated into this culture, and we've carved our own culture, and in carving our own culture, I think we need to get to fine tuning it, because we done had 400 plus years of this person doing, or these people doing what they doing. We need to start changing the game and how we move, but we still falling for the same old tricks. Like I said in one taping, like the election stuff, the same stuff happened every election year, and we having the same conversations over and over again, doing the same thing over and over again. We are entertainment for the same reason they brought us over here. The sugar cane, the cotton, or whatever they were picking, whatever they were using our ancestors for. But we are entertainment. So you mean to tell me 4-5 guys can't get together and start their own league up? Because we are the NFL, we are the NBA, we are whatever it is, whatever hot, we there.
Now what you're talking about is you're talking about infringing upon someone else's money. That's what you're talking about, and that's the reason that I feel that won't ever grow, because the majority will outweigh the few that have. I understand what you're saying. We can have our own leagues or whatever and be our own sort of entertainment. Yes, we can, but still, just like every other instance in history where they tried to bond together as a community, as a people, a reason was found to get inside, to infiltrate, to mess it up, because they can't let that image grow, because then now those little kids will start seeing themselves as the kings and queens that they are, versus this, I got to struggle to make it, I got to be the one to make it out of my family. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They will see themselves in a positive light, and they don't want us to see ourselves in a positive light.
Oh, I agree with that 100%. Like even though I feel like I'm torn about, do we have culture? But we, like I said, we have created our own, and in fine tuning it. Like a joker get out of prison, the whole block show up. Motherfucker got to graduate from college.
Hey, dig it.
You know what I mean? Joker throw a party, and then family and his closest partner, from the hood probably gonna show up or whatever. That's the type of stuff when we want to say we got culture, that's stuff we need to start changing. Mm-hmm. Like how we talking about togetherness. That's the stuff we got to start changing. Mainly with the man and woman, because, until we it ain't gonna never be perfect where we just skipping and rose petals and stuff every day. But
Okay. Real life shit, cuz. Like you just said, about the us uplifting each other and all that good stuff, right? I put on Facebook this 6 hours ago about the release of my EP that's coming out, right?
Right.
I have 4 likes.
How much they be looking on?
You know what I mean? This is not something that you have to pay for.
Right. Well, I
You know what I mean?
because we put our stuff up and
Right.
1 or 2 likes and
It's like, okay, but you get pulled aside when you're out and about. Like, hey, yo, I dig that what you were saying.
Yeah.
So, hey, bro, just leave us some kind of kickback to let us know that y'all listening to us and letting us know what we saying, and that you either agree or disagree. Give us some type of feedback.
I think it's also become our culture, black people culture, to fit in,
Yep.
to
Want something
want
becomes
to be included in
something that
everything.
has to be hot before everybody wants to
Right,
get on
and
board.
then it's instead of getting it on the ground and say, "Hey, I believe in you, I support
There
you,"
you go.
it may not even go anywhere.
But so it's about you having that positive
Right.
energy and that sense of home pride for me, that you support me, you want to
and
support
not
me.
feeling like
And-
I'm your cousin,
Right.
or a relative or related.
I gotta
to you,
get something
I'm about
out
to
of
get a
it.
deal.
Yeah,
Like
I
we
gotta
talked
get
about
something
earlier,
out of
like,
it. Yeah.
That's another part of our culture we need to change, because that's the first thing that people think of when somebody close to them gets something, is that I can get a piece of it.
Right.
You didn't
And
put in the real work into it.
in essence, you can, but it's all about how you go about getting it.
All right.
You don't automatically go into it saying, I want what you got.
Right.
You go into it
Right.
saying, like we said in the other episode, how did you do this? Can you give me knowledge of how you got to where you at? So, cause I want to get there.
Right.
I ain't trying to stunt, hate on you or nothing like that. I'm just trying to mimic you. Or expound upon what you already have, because you're going to have your own ideas yourself. So
Right.
if I give you my bits and pieces and you add it to what you already got, now you got your own beautiful pie, your own beautiful piece of the world that you living in.
And even if you don't want to start your own business, help other people spread the word about
Exactly.
theirs, or offer to help. Hey, I can advertise for you at my job, or you got some extra cards. I know somebody who wants something, or share on your Facebook page or Instagram, or get back on topic now of black culture. So,
But that is
we don't got to talk about business, but
Yeah.
on the business side of black culture, we don't support each other.
We'll go
like we should.
spend $5,000 on or whatever it may be.
Yep.
Just to say, look, I got on the belt, or I got on some these shoes, or this, that, and the third.
Yep.
But as a people, like we suffering, like we count individual win. These folk count generational win.
Right.
And until we lock in and start coming together, everybody ain't gonna make it. I do understand that, but at the end of the day, man, we have culture that we created, but in true culture, we don't have a culture, because our culture was stripped from us. So that I do know, I had to research it, read about it, watch videos about it, listen to other guys talk, then I go and look up this, that, and the third about it. So, like I said in a previous episode also, like, we got to get into teaching our kids way before the slavery thing. Yeah, that's a part of it. But
Right.
man,
All the way back to
how
the
you
roots.
get toilets and how you get everything. Like,
All the way back to the
we're
roots.
inventors.
First started.
Just like he said, it'll spark that. It might not spark every kid, but it'll spark that somebody to be the next best engineer or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I think we still
Because
have
it don't
some.
always have to be about shooting basketball or running
Right.
football
Right.
to be
Or
awesome or being
track
an
or-
actor or whatever.
Right.
Even gymnastics, but I think some families still have some of their original culture. I think some of it. I don't think everything got beat and washed away. I think some of it still.
Some families are intact like that, the way you had
Get
that.
passed on.
It's just like I didn't know our granddad played with the nigga Lee Gray.
Right. That's why all
Until
of
he
us,
died.
all of us played baseball and we never
But
we
playing
decent at it. You know what I
and
mean?
was out there doing our thing.
And we didn't know nothing about granddad played in the Negro.
Like he really was one of them guys. Probably running in the circle with Satchel and all them folks.
Right.
Like that type of out there, like, and that stuff not being passed down. Like I had my grandma one time, like, how was it when you coming up, grandma? They're trying to see if she was gonna come with some more funk. Oh, it was nice for me, but my grandma pretty lady, you know what I mean, fair skin, so she really wasn't worried about that.
Right.
But had I had that same conversation with my dad, Mom,
But it
Oh,
would have
man.
been
it
different.
would have been way different. And I ain't have to have a conversation with her because they were still living like that. So a lot of my culture come from the intertwining of both of my family side, my mom and my dad. So some culture is, because like we used to, you know, the little family reunion, move around, but then it got to where, as certain people, as the older ones that were doing it when we were little, they got older, we stopped doing it. Like he and I done talked about, we got to start doing it so we
Getting
can.
back to what you
Right.
So where do you see the future of black culture going? Like if you look at social media today, you see all the stuff going on. What do you see?
It's been whitewashed.
Well, not even.
Being whitewashed. If they continue with the trend of how they are trying to make everything now where it's blended, we are one. I know, you know, that's
Your slogan.
my slogan that we are, but that's how everything is going, because that is real life. But we still need to know and
But in the way they
understand
saying, but in the way they're saying we are one, they're not treating everybody like we're one.
exactly. They're still
They want you
having
to be,
different
they want you to
categories.
be on the same page so that, you know, when you see two men kissing,
That's normal.
it's okay. You want your son to grow up to feel, they want our sons to grow up to feel like, hey, there's no problem with you being with a man. You go do that. I'm not going to champion that, and I'm not going to knock it either. But at the same time, I'm not going to root for my son to be like that.
Right.
I don't think no man would. However, I think
if you would-
you have to allow, whether it's male or female, you have to let them be who they are.
Oh no, I get that. I ain't even trying to get.
Yeah, I know we ain't going
on
into that, but
topic.
I
I'm just
just-
saying that that's the way that society has, like you said, trying to make everybody be one. It's like if a heterosexual person says somebody a gay person, then as
Gay bashing.
right, but a gay person say somebody a straight person, then
yeah.
it's
Nothing.
It
It's
ain't
just,
nothing.
Yeah.
It's just
like
right on
the kid Nas X coming with the picture of him being pregnant. Like why you like what like? But y'all ain't got no agenda. With,
I mean,
like why do
Dennis
that?
Rodman did that back in the 90s, man.
Yeah, he showed it.
Dennis Rodman did. I mean, all this is history repeating itself. You know what I mean? You're going to have those individuals who are going to be those individuals. That's their path. That's who they want to be in life.
I understand that it's the propaganda and the promotion that they're pumping into our community.
Right. But, I mean, again, you have to be one of those individuals who has that parent, whether it's just a single parent or dual parent, where you're sitting down with your child, letting them know that, no, this is not where you come from. You didn't come from slavery. You came from the Moors, the original people, giving them that
But
true.
in our culture, we do nothing but indoctrinate.
So you can only
the
fix that by
average.
starting at your home. Each house has to do
I
that.
get that.
You know what I'm saying?
But the average household ain't talking about that. They talking about get down, pray, hallelujah.
Right. And the average household, that's what the majority is preaching. Now,
Right.
if the majority start preaching, we need to learn our own true culture, then that will grow. Like we just stated that our people are very faddish.
I don't think it'll change because people like where they are. Some people like where they like women. There are some girls who like half dressing, twerking on the table, being the boss babe in the house, cussing their man out. They like that culture, and we keep spreading that on social media to make it seem like now black culture is all about just being disrespectful, having big wide hips, big booty, big breasts, big full lips. We naturally have shiny skin when we go outside in the sun. Now you have other cultures who are trying to get their BBLs done so they can look more black. I would say have the big full hips and the booty and the breast and the big full lips, and they put on bronzer and toner and all this stuff to make their skin look like they have the natural highlights like we have.
Like they have melanin in their skin. That's what we're trying to mimic.
Right. So I think the future of our culture is going downhill because we, instead of like you said, in our household, we have to stop it in the household. When we see our daughters or another young lady or a man acting doing all this different stuff, we need to stop. Hey, you need to stop.
Right.
That
but
ain't.
Now, it depends on that action. I say it depends on that action because you have some people who are just a certain way. You know what I mean? And no matter what they say, it sounds one way, but it's not meant that way. You know what I mean? So that's why I say I think it depends upon the action. You can have some little boys that they be real feminine their whole life. You know what I mean? But they have no desire to be with another man, yet that's just their genetic makeup.
Okay.
Everyone on scene that was twisting, they like boy.
Well, I have encountered some guys that are like that. They're feminine, but they
What they call
have
them, metro?
metrosexual. They have no desire to be with a man. They just, that's just how they are.
Talk more feminine than me.
Right, they just cool like that. To each his own. That's why I say it depends on the action or if you say something to that child or not, because that child could just be that feminine type, you know what I mean? But he has that child really don't know anything right now about male or female. We put it in them when we start talking. You can't be talking like that. You're talking like a little sissy. You know what I mean? That's what we do when we make those type comments to kids.
But that's also part of culture, though. Our culture is
and
to
something that needs to change.
We raise little boys light blue. We raise little girls light pink. We raise little boys to talk like a man and raise little girls to be independent. That's black culture.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen it was a post on Facebook about all of the from I think it was like from the 90s all the way up to now, all the famous young male stars, and each one of them had girlish features.
But they put makeup on some of them little kids too. On them little boys, little eyeliner, little lip gloss, little with a little pink or
They
red
put it
to
on
it.
the men, talking about children.
Oh man. I'm gonna take this moment to shout out my business. Don't bite your mouth barbecue, baby. Don't let me come in here and bite your mouth. I'll make you do it. Okay.
Now that we're done with the commercial break, back to the episode.
Right. Yeah, plug the commercial in right there.
But I agree with you. I feel like it's on a decline. I think it can be sad because I do hear more people talking about knowledge of self and unity, but a lot of it is the gain wealth, and now you Mr. Big Stuff or Mrs. Big Stuff. A lot of scamming going on. So our culture is monopolized, and we don't monopolize. We don't capitalize on it the way that everybody else is, and that's the crazy. So that's why I was talking about creating our own league, whether it be NBA, NFL. We kind of gave baseball to the Hispanic. They be running it, but they real. They coming from us when you get into the genealogy. Cause our ancestors are the first people. Like, I don't care what you say, you can go look it up, and you can't refute it. Well, you can, but you gonna lose.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Because the science
it don't lie. It don't lie.
But I already, to go back what you were just saying about us having our own. I remember growing up and we had the city league.
Right.
You know what I mean? We had the Sunday softball games where the community would just get together and everybody would play. This Unadilla come down or Bineville or whatever. Somewhere.
Game going.
We just played a game, be it basketball with city league. You know what I mean? Or the softball thing. It kind of went away because you start having too many individuals that want to be the chiefs. You know what I mean? I want it done this way, I want it done that way, and it's pulling. Cause hey, me and you cool, but shit, my homeboy just said he want to do it this way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Then I'm really rocking with this cat, but me and you cool, but shit, I'm gonna go support him. Right. Now you just called the division, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And again, that's what, like you said earlier, that's where that power lies, in the division. Anytime they can give us two options, and you have that one on this side and that one on that side, and they have two different opinions, that's where the majority will win. You know what I mean? If you got enough people saying your Jesus is a blonde, blue-eyed God, you know what I mean? that's what you're gonna believe because you have the majority of people saying it. And you know, and our grandparents, great grandparents, our ancestors were brainwashed to the point that where they really believed that.
Well, everybody will.
You know what I mean? Because for some of them, that's all they knew. And their parents never said, baby, that ain't true.
They better not say it.
Right.
Get their jaw broke.
Right. They couldn't say it for fear of their life.
I remember when I had questions, I don't know if y'all want to touch on that one time, you know, just, you know, religion in itself, but, and I had questions, but, you know, don't say that no more. You don't question God, say it again, I'll beat you, but I don't have a whipping, don't want no whipping, so I ain't gonna ask no questions, but as I get older, I'm thinking and I'm seeing what you saying, what you telling me ain't lining up with what
You learn it.
going
Well, that
on.
became black people culture, not to question anything about God. You
I
can't
get
question.
that. So when I'm using my own mind to see that, man, we just gotta come together. But you worry about he ain't got as much as you instead of looking at the fact that this joker taking everything they got, putting it in the pot. But yeah, when you get down to it,
Hey, I got a question.
come on with it, cuz you gotta wrap it up.
Yeah, I know. That's why I want to ask that question, man.
All right.
All right, to our female viewers, I want to know, do you prefer a man with hard hands or a man with soft hands? We want to know. I want to know. They might not want to know. I want to know. Tell me your perspective.
Let me tell you why he asked that question.
To close up, let's close out today.
Yeah. My opinion is hard hands or a little rough. Like you know how to do. If you can't hang up curtains, I can't do nothing for you. If you don't know how to work a hammer, you don't know how to work a lawnmower, you don't know how to change a light bulb.
With the off camera thing, we will wrap up the episode.
Yeah, you're right.
By
Saying,
I'm
go ahead.
gonna go ahead and say,
Yeah.
you know, my final thoughts on the whole thing is, you know, we have created a culture, and we just need to tighten it up. We need to, you know, just do better by being better people and treating each other better.
Tempo, anything you got, Miss B?
No.
Well, we really appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hope y'all enjoyed this week's episode. Let me know if y'all like them soft hands or hard hands. And we gonna hit y'all up next week, man. Peace.